Server lemot, resource limited, kurang fleksibel. Saatnya beralih ke VPS Hostinger. Server ngebut, resource unlimited.
The React fragment, and we can then render a stack coming directly from Next.js. It's called a dynamic route. So let's create a new file and put it within square brackets and the React fragment and page or their structures was then to layout. Of course, that we can, outside of which we can destructure the color and the focus state. This is tab icon. which is a new component which we'll create. So right here, let's say const tab icon is a React functional component that returns, well, for now we can return just a view. View is like a div, we'll use it quite often. And within that view, we can render an image. And this image will come directly from React Native. Once again, very similar to Next.js if you're used to that. This image will accept a source, which we can pass into the tab icon functional component. So we can destructure some things like the icon, the color, the name, and the focus state. That way, we now know what we need to pass. So right here below, we can render the tab icon, self-closing, These structure some things like the icon, the color, the name, and the focus state. That way, we now know what we need to pass. So right here below, we can render the tab icon, self-closing, and to it, pass the icon, and now we need to import the icons we have created before within our constants. So we can say import icons coming from dot dot slash constants. And if we scroll down, we can now use the icons.home. This is the home icon specifically. We also have the color coming directly from the callback as icon. Focused is equal to focused. This should give us everything we need to know which from the callback function, the icons dot within our constants. So we can say what we need to now which will simply pass over. Focused is equal to focused. This should give us everything we need to now start rendering our tab icon, which needs its image. So let's simply render the icon as the source of that image. over. Focused is equal to focused. This should give us everything we need to now start rendering our tab icon, which needs its image. So let's simply render the icon as the source of that image. And already you can see a huge home icon at the bottom. Let's style it a bit by using the resize mode equal to contain. It accepts name. Now we have text to and say if it's focused, name the font, but smaller. But now we can see the home 2 times. So we need to modify our options in the tab screen a bit more. And we can do that by modifying the tabs in general. So right here, we can pass additional screen options equal to an object where we can say tab bar show label will be set to false. And now we have only our specific label that we chose. Also, I can see it's not centered properly. So let's go into this view and give it a class name of items-center, justify-center, copy this tab screen. have only our tab bar. In the tab screen a bit more. And we can do that by modifying the tabs in general. So right here, we can pass additional screen options, and we can do that home 2 times. We can do a text like this. I was almost about to say regular, but no, it's Poppins regular. So then, text dash XS right here to make it smaller. But now we can see the home 2 times. So we need to modify our options in the tab screen a bit more. And we can do that by modifying the tabs in general. So right here, we can pass additional screen options equal to an object where we can say tab bar show label will be set properly. So let's go and a gap of 2 to create some space. There we go. That's better. And that way, we can make it work for all of the other icons or screens by changing the name to bookmark, changing the and a gap and duplicate it 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. And that way, we can make it work for all of the other icons or screens by changing the name to bookmark, changing the title to bookmark with a capital B. We can also change the icon to icon.bookmark and change the name to bookmark. You get the idea, right? If we save it, you're going to get an error because we still have some duplicate screens. So before we can see anything, we'll have to modify all of them. And I do believe that my bookmark was supposed to be a second screen, so I'm just going to copy it and move it over to the second place right here after the home. So we have Add new videos to the platform, so name it. And the profile on, we can re-navigate to the homepage, two different pages. This is great. And the last gone, we can re-navigate to the homepage, and you can see 4 of these beautiful tabs at the bottom, which, if you click on them, will navigate to different pages. This is great. They change the focus state, and if you pay close attention at the top, you can see that the text within the screen changes. This is great. So simple and so similar to what we're used to. Let's also apply some additional class names to tabs in general by modifying the screen options and giving it a tab bar active tint color, which we can put something like, let's do hash FFA001. This one matches our theme a bit more. We can also do a tab bar inactive tint color, and we can make it something like hash CDCDE0. We can also modify the tab bar style, which is an object, where we can change the background color to something like hash 161. It is in the Tailwind config. Manually, I found that to work the best. And also border top color to something like hash 232533, and set the height to something like 84 pixels. And now we have this modern looking dark tab. Tabs bar, but we cannot see the name of our tabs. And that's because we have to go to our text and add a special property of style. Color is set to the color that we're passing from the props. In this case, that'll be white. So now you can see this beautiful home, bookmark, create, and so on, and we can nicely navigate between them. And it's not just about changing the color in the tabs bar. It's about actually navigating to different screens of our application, which soon enough will look exactly like it looks right now on Figma. This is a beautiful onboarding design, and I think I like this onboarding screen the most. It is visually the most pleasing. So let's get started with that, as it's our first screen anyway. And of course, this screen just looks good, doesn't yet implement any functionality, but as you know, you're building a full stack application. So after we're done with creating the onboarding screen, after you kind of feel a bit more comfortable working within a React Native mobile native environment, you'll be able to dive into the sign up and sign in screens where we'll immediately start implementing the logic. So let's get started with the onboarding screen. You can see our designer here has pulled out specific assets that we can use within the application. I have already provided these to you within the assets, but in case you're wondering how we can use them and how we can download them yourself, you can just select them and then scroll down and click export. That way you'll have those assets. Also, you can see that our Grade Designer has also provided us with different colors to implement the gradient looking button. With that said, let's start working on our onboarding screen, which is our index.jsx. And you can navigate to it on your phone by simply clicking the index on top left, or this is crazy, you can use your device's native capabilities. Like on iOS, you can swipe from the left side of the screen and that will also perform the same action. That's crazy. I mean, the power you get with developing in React Native is so good because you can develop native mobile applications with native functionalities for both Android and iOS while writing code that looks and feels like React and Next.js. I think you can see my enthusiasm and I hope you share it with me while you're learning how to develop React Native applications. With that said, let's not use the view right here. Rather, let's use something that you learned about in the crash course part of this course, and that is safe area view. Whenever you have kind of the most outside view, that should be a safe area view because it ensures that our content is visible on all different devices. And of course, we have to import it at the top by saying import safe area context like this, iOS, Android, full for full height, and that will immediately turn our device black. Next, we can wrap everything within the safe area view. We're going to open a content be scrollable. So they might within it for some coming from once again that slash constants. And we can now use the images logo. And of course, you have to spell constants properly. There we go. Aura at the top. This looks great. Let's also give it a class name equal to W dash 130 pixels and H dash 84 pixels, which makes it look bad, but we can give it a resize mode equal to right below this image. We'll render a second image, which will also be self-closing with a source equal to images.cards. It will have a class name equal to max-w-380 pixels. W-full, and H- about 300 pixels. Also, let me fix this typo right here. And don't forget, we also have to give it a resize mode equal to contain. If we save it, this is looking much closer.